I'm working on a content cop.
Oh, so very cool. I guess I could ask who it's about.
Some of my vernacular is dated, some would say.
You mean the R
Yeah,
slur?
like,
Even Bo Black's autism doesn't count to be able to use the R slur.
do you believe the hairpiece allegations with Hassan?
He doesn't seem to have a good bald head.
There isn't much good feelings left for Idubbbz.
I don't even think he had a strong opinion or desire to even make his video in the first place. I really do think it was more Anissa. He leaves his wife to make all the decisions that puts her in a really tough spot.
My main gripe with Hassan isn't his politics, even if I think some of his takes are abysmal, and I do.
What take do you think is abysmal? Give me your most base political take right now.
Another thing with critiquing certain people is Destiny inserts himself in everything.
He's done a good job keeping his name around.
I'm a grifter in my own right, and I think it's funny, and I'm having fun doing it. It's not that deep.
I wouldn't call you a grifter.
I'm a Cameron grifter. I grift myself.
This isn't like a super mentally draining job or anything.
I guess Hassan would beg to differ about the mentally draining thing. I empathize with it. Oh, empathy, buzzword.
You're learning empathy right now, so good for you.
I guess so.
Is this Cameron? Is that who this is? Is that who? Hello?
No.
Hello?
That's not me.
Who the hell are you, dude? What the fuck? What's going on?
I don't know, man. What's up, big man? How are you doing?
Not too bad. How about you?
No, you've just been my background for while I'm working. I'm working on a content cop.
Oh, so, very cool. You gonna who is? Well, I mean, I guess I could ask who it's about, but you should probably hold on to that information.
It is it is a secret. However, I did a poll.
Okay.
And on who people think it is, and it's really funny to me because I know, and I've been working on this for like the past month. And, like the options were Asmongold, Hassan, Ludwig, and Destiny. And
interesting.
Of course, Hassan won for the poll. That's who people think.
Yeah, I think that's what the people are hoping that you do it on. Is Hassan. I mean, if you do, I'm sure it'll be good. But I think Asmongold would be a good one to do it on. Honestly,
I agree. I think a lot of the comments have just said do all of them.
Yeah. Well, at some point, yeah. I mean, it takes you a while, so. But at some point, yeah, fuck it, do them all.
But what's interesting is like when like scripting these videos is like I've changed so much from how I started.
Mm-hmm.
Like now I'm doing like APA fucking cited essays for like tidbits because I like to do loose script, but the citing and shit and like writing out my thoughts helps me out so much when editing.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then I can cut in what I'm talking about.
Have you been enjoying doing like the video essays? Because I know some people get fucking burnt out on them. Although you kind of just started, no?
Yeah, no, I used to do like short little shitty commentary videos back in the day, but nothing like what I'm doing now. So yeah, there was some burnout after the Idubbbz stuff, mainly because I was just
I can imagine
it's just a little tiring. You know?
Yeah. Plus the Idubbbz situation is like you know. I feel like that took a long time to put everything together, but it was a solid video. It was a lot of fun too.
I appreciate it. No, I got my friends to tune in to you so they could understand the Hassan Parker joke when we were filming.
Okay. Yeah. Dude, it's just such a silly little thing that he got so triggered over that, but
I know. No, it's no, I think the little things like that, because like those are they're so much more effective than just regular insults.
Yeah, because they're not even like insults. That's why it's just such a it's so frustrating. If when he hears it, I imagine he'll probably hear it every once in a while. You know?
Yeah, no, I love shit like that, and like instead of like I tried with like their tattoos to not be as blatant, like, and just straight up insult them. Instead, like I drew them on me and tried to be like blatantly like a tweaker and goofy and with it.
Yeah, well, that's another thing too. If you make people laugh when you make the joke, you're gonna get better reception too.
I just don't want to be a dick to be a dick, I feel like.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's hard not to be with Ian and Anissa because they're
oh my
assholes,
god.
You know?
No, the content cop was so much more lighthearted, but the deputy was like I had some personal like gripes at that point because of the Noah Samson situation. I was like, "Oh, you're a fucking asshole."
Yeah, I get it. It feels like it's like not even before it's trying not to get fucking worked up with that guy. The whole thing, I think, is kind of starting to topple down a little bit, especially after Idubbbz released his content cop on Ethan. I think people started to just get confused about what's happening, and they just started to flip. So now all like whatever charity that they got from what was going on is pretty much dead, and now it's just kind of like a meme.
Yeah, like some of the fighters had like said that they stopped training, and people keep dropping out. It's a whole
what a shame.
mess.
What a shame. Considered that event could have been like successful, but I think it's really just Ian and specifically Anissa. I think that she is too ego driven. They want to do all these fucking crazy parties and everything instead of keeping on task. I don't think that they ever really cared about the charity thing. I think that was always just like a play.
Yeah, I was talking to someone who fought on Creator Clash 1 about it, and they were like, yeah, I think the boxing thing's just kind of dead. It would be something interesting that doesn't have to be for charity, and hopefully it's not by Ian and Anissa, but would be MMA. Like,
I feel like I wonder how successful an MMA event could be, because I feel like the reason that boxing is interesting for creators to do is because it's boxing, and boxing is a little bit, I would say, dead because of that. So I wonder if it would even be like good, or if people would be like not interested because they would take it more seriously. I don't know.
Also, I think like MMA is like a lot harder to like. There's a lot of red tape. Like,
it's harder to perform in general, and then harder to even harder to train for. That would be fucking brutal.
Yeah. I'm kind of in territory like after this next one where like the creators I want to cover. It's specifically like I really don't like attacking people's character.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do these content cops in the future, I want to focus more on critique and like hopefully improving. Like, I don't think Asmongold is a shit person. I don't agree with. Yeah, I don't agree with some of the things he says, and my main gripe with his content is like I think his reactions are way too surface level.
You think that's what I watched like a couple of videos, and it just seems to be like kind of whatever I don't even want to say whatever the public narrative is, because he doesn't seem like somebody that would change his perspective for the public narrative, but he seems like somebody who's very I was like susceptible to what the public he's going to have opinions that align with the public, because whatever is influencing people to think a certain way is something that also influences him. Not that he's like on the trigger like, okay, what are people thinking now? Let me change my opinion. I don't think he's doing that.
Yeah. It's usually, I feel like it's what his Reddit says, and then sometimes he'll push back against his chat, but like it's his reactions are usually like, yep, so there it is, yeah, he's right.
I did see it because I watched like a video, and he pretty much did all of that. It was just somebody would say something, it was more right-leaning video, and he's like, wow, that's crazy that this is true, and it's like, well, you don't really know that that's true. Why don't you look into it a little bit? But that's what it is. Just they pump out
uncritical reactions to anything. I feel like is something that I have a problem with.
Well, it's comfort watching for a lot of his viewers, because he's just saying yup, and there's really nothing else going on there, and then he could pump out a ton of it. It's not really a big burnout. Like when I watched his video, it was kind of a burnout a little bit, only because I was looking stuff up. So I don't remember how long the video is, but it was like an hour of me just looking his shit up because he just kept saying yup.
Right.
So it's a little, but it's easier for people to like to digest too, because you're not really doing any mental legwork. And again, this isn't like a super mentally draining job or anything, but
it's become like the only like difficulty. I mean, I guess Hassan would beg to differ about the mentally draining thing, but
well, it depends. It depends how you do it, I guess. But even the way the Asmongold is, I imagine, is even less draining.
Yeah, I think he's doing fine. One thing I do like about Asmon's reactions is he does have like a discussion forum at the end, where like he just talks like for a good 30 minutes with his chat about what they watch, and I like that. I just wish when he uploads them to YouTube, he would just cut out most of like.
Is that what he does?
He sits there and like kind of talks for a good 10 to 15 minutes with his chat about what's going on if he has like a strong opinion on it. That's what he did with like the content nuke. At least.
Interesting. I didn't know that he did that. That's crazy.
But I don't like that he has the entirety of this video in his reactions or whatever, because it feels like, okay, well, if you're gonna have your commentary at the very, very end, then what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I feel like there's ethical reactions. You can react to the whole video, but if you're inserting your commentary in there. And another thing is, it's hard for me now because I have to avoid watching. I learned this heavily after my content cup, that I have to avoid watching all reactions when I'm making a video, because sometimes I'll agree with something and end up like regurgitating, oh, you're just copying this and I'm like, oh, fuck.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with like a spread of ideas. I mean, are people really giving you shit because you
Well, it was because I straight up well I explicitly said shout out to Nicholas Diorio when I took one of his jokes, but I like explicitly said, "Oh, I stole this joke from Nicholas Diorio."
I think there's nothing wrong with that. People are just always going to find a reason to complain about something.
I mean, yeah. I want you know, I do want like a new like I guess a view to the table. Like I want a reason for people to watch. I guess it's kind of like
well, I mean, I wouldn't stay away from. I mean, listen, you do you, but I wouldn't necessarily feel pressure to stay away from to watching other people, because it might help you. Like listening to somebody else's opinion might actually help you when it comes to like formulating your own opinion in like a positive, productive way.
Yeah. I think where I have the biggest issues like is like certain videos that I know I can't make because I know I can't be measured. Like people I just genuinely really don't like. I don't think I could make a lot of videos on. Because I know I can't, or when I'm making a measured take about something that they like, I feel like I would, it would be more difficult to be not bad faith if they've, for example, Noah Samsen. I feel like I can't make a video on Noah Samsen anymore.
Yeah, because, I feel that.
How can I be good faith to him?
I also think I think that on video about Noah Samsen would almost be kind of like boring. It's like that'd be even more boring than a video about Papa God. You know what I mean? Like he's not even like a big contender. He just kind of regurgitates whatever Hassan says. He seems to dress like Hassan and like have a haircut like Hassan.
Yeah. Do you believe the hairpiece allegations with Hassan?
With Hassan, I wouldn't. I don't know about hairpiece, but I would believe like hair plugs. He seems like a very self-conscious person. I think that he would, and he doesn't seem to have a good bald head. Like I'm lucky I have a good head for being bald. I don't think that Hassan has a good head for being bald, frankly. So, because I did hear someone say there's something about it, and I was like, oh, it's silly. I wouldn't doubt it though, but either way, like it's just like it's fun, silly little like stupid bullshit,
Yeah, no, he has major insecurities. Another thing with like critiquing certain people is like that the fact that Destiny inserts himself in everything, and Destiny gets inserted into everything as well.
Yeah, well, he's done a good job at keeping his name around. You know what I mean? So it makes sense.
Yeah, like I thought at this point it'd be like kind of over. Like
no,
he can't.
I didn't think it was going to be over after like the last issue that he had, but I do think that some of his like aura disappeared, where people I think would be a little bit afraid to criticize him, because he does have a strong community that can sometimes, and I'm not saying he tells people to harass anybody, but I think that some of the people that might gravitate towards him are the type of people that would want to harass somebody.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think that that's kind of died down. I think he's lost a bit of his aura. He's still doing well, obviously, like very well. He's still very successful. But like for me, for instance, like it's just not. There's just I don't know. I don't really want to. It's too much for me, It's too much to be like, oh well, let me move past that,
I just hate giving him points. Like I hate. Fuck, he was right. Like.
Well, he's right about a lot of stuff, but then it comes down to like, is he right because he wants? It's like, I don't know. Is he right because he believes it, or is he just right because he wants to be right? You know what I mean?
Now, when it comes to Hassan, it's usually he's right because he hates Hassan, not because he necessarily believes it, in my opinion.
He definitely hates Hassan. They're very hateable. Yeah. I feel like they're just the same person. Just like they're just really like twin style.
No, yeah, no.
Danny DeVito.
Totally agree.
Except that Destiny's actually, I think, intelligent. Obviously, he's just not particularly morally sound, and then Hassan's just better at seeming like he's morally sound, just purely, I guess, optically.
I feel like something interesting with that I've noticed specifically with Hassan and his crew is like, I noticed they like to throw around like terms like, oh, this neurodivergent or mentally disabled like take.
Do they say like that a lot? I've because I don't really watch too much of their stuff. I haven't noticed that.
Denim's blatantly called a chatter who was like trying to like stunlock her during the lawsuit mentally disabled, and I'm like, that's just like you're 2 steps away from the R word.
I think you're 1 step away. Like that, I mean, I've said people like I'll say sometimes, I'll like say you have like a fucking TBI or something, which is kind of dancing around it, but I would have thought that they would be more against it themselves because they pretend to not be super edgy.
I don't believe. No, I think they have. I think they are edgy, and they they've always been edgy, but they have to
Dial
put on a
down the
facade.
edge.
Yeah, there's a I guess I've been calling it like purity standards that they have to meet for their audience. Because I think that they know that they kind of have a radioactive community.
Yeah, I think that they do too. Well, you know
Yeah.
what? They might not actually. I think it's so normalized, like being fucking crazy. It's so normalized because they're all former Destiny orbiters. I mean, at least
Right.
at least Denim's and Hassan. And so I think that when you're in that weird, like debatey, I guess like kind of debate pervert space, I think that maybe it's so normal that your fans are super toxic and constantly try to like bully people that you disagree with. And I think that maybe they just think what they're doing is normal. I don't
Right.
know. I wonder if like part of that, because I don't know if they're like all super aware of everything that they're.
Right.
I don't know if they're super aware of like how, I don't know, toxic their audience is. I don't even remember the wait. Was this fucking relevant to your question, to what you said? I'm almost filibustered myself.
No, it totally is.
What was it? What did you say? Sorry, I like fucking completely lost my brain power.
I was talking about how like they put on this like facade for like purity.
Yeah, it's a purity. Yeah. Okay, yeah. No, I don't know if they're necessarily purity. I don't know if their community cares that much. I think it's more like just trying to seem like they're morally virtuous people rather than like, because I think their fans are super toxic. They don't give a fuck.
No, that's true. That actually is true. I've been you ever just go into like venture into the depths? I rarely do this, but every once in a while I'll be like, because in my opinion it's funny. Some people take it to heart. That's whatever. But I'll venture into the blocked comments section.
Oh, and, like your own blocked comments?
Yeah, and it will be like the most vile shit from their community.
Some people are fucking crazy. I never had to deal with like their community being crazy because like I'm pretty off the map for the most part. Nobody really bothers, which I'm fine with. I think it's like I try to be more of a casual observer rather than like a inserter into whatever's going on. But sometimes on Twitter it's fun. Somebody like called me like every slur, and I kind of thought it was funny, and I just like laughed. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? You know, like you're just being fucking crazy. People are wild.
I've also been like accused of being Jewish by like 90% of their
fucking
audience,
crazy.
which is just like mask off there because I disagree with them. I'm Jewish.
Well, are
and it's
you?
Just like, oh, so is that a problem with being Jewish? No, I'm not. But it's like they use it as an insult. So I'm like, oh, Jewish is bad. You're proving my point.
Yeah, I think a lot of them do, and they're like anonymous, so they don't have to like feel like
right.
They don't have to feel like they have to pretend to care. Like, yeah, they come from they're comfortable in those and like the Hassan communities, but they don't have to like Hassan doesn't have to attach himself to it and be like, oh wait, am I encouraging this kind of stuff? Yeah, he doesn't really have to give a fuck.
That does remind me, Casey Tron did like have a mask off moment today where she was like, get these Jewish. I mean, Hassan, help me get these Zionists off my feet. And she was like, get these Jews, and then like stopped herself mid-sentence.
Has Hassan even like acknowledged her existence?
I believe so.
Really? Wow. I would have thought that he wouldn't have like wanted to associate with
she used to be pretty big back in the day.
She's a mess. I would stay away from her. I was just because she's just so fucking messy. It doesn't seem.
I can't feel bad, but like definitely a mess. Like,
yeah, no. It's like a funny
It's hard
mess.
for me to feel bad. It's hard for me to feel bad for her specifically because of like she's just so antagonistic. Like when you throw out like, oh, this person's an abuser, horrible person, like just anyone you dislike, and like saying Asmongold killed his mom, like okay,
yeah, that's what she's used to, is just having like fucking crazy takes for attention. So she's just gonna keep doing that in some capacity. That's her.
I mean, hey, if it pays the lawyers, I mean, go for it.
Well, I don't even think that she doesn't even have like a productive career out of it. Like she's just kind of like that's what was weird to me. A lot of these people have no like meaningful, productive careers that like matter. Like Hassan obviously does have one, but like like Denim's, Frogan, I don't really understand. Like they just go on their streams. They don't really do anything that could net an actual career. I don't know. They don't really put out any real content. I wonder if they're like afraid or something. It's very strange to me.
Yeah, I think another topic I kind of want to cover one day is like this like streamer hierarchy that exists on Twitch, where it's like, and this kind of goes into like the recent Ludwig shit, where it's like you have a very specific like standard, and everyone knows everyone. You fuck up once, you're blackballed, even if it's like at the behest of one of us. It's a very strange group, and I don't know, very pretentious.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, well, I guess a lot of them do a lot of collaborations. I mean, honestly, I don't get it, because Hassan is irrelevant to Ludwig. Hassan doesn't have any positive impact. I mean, maybe they share such a similar community that he has to like actively defend him, which that might make the most sense.
They do.
I wonder.
I don't think they do.
Hassan has he has a big community. Like, I wouldn't doubt that. If like Ludwig doesn't fall in line in some capacity, that like people in Hassan's community will they just won't engage with him in some capacity. Like, I could imagine that maybe Hassan just has to be like, oh, Ludwig did this thing, and then all of a sudden, Hassan's fans are no longer watching Ludwig, or maybe they're just harassing Ludwig, and they're making him self-conscious and feel like he's gonna get fucked.
Because there was this moment on stream like a few months ago where like Ludwig, I think it was like 7 months ago actually, where Ludwig like criticized Hassan, and then mid Ludwig stream, Hassan's chatters came in and said, "Oh, Hassan's mad at you," and he's like, "Hassan's mad at me? Why? What happened?"
I don't really get it. I don't know why you'd want to be that cucked by
I don't know. Well, I think it's because like I think it's because he like just. I don't know. This need to be connected with everyone. I don't know.
Maybe it's just like a fear of falling off, because they're such big creators, and like that's their biggest fear, because obviously the money is linked to it, but then also an ego thing, because they don't really need to make content anymore. Like, they could be fucking done forever if they wanted to. Like, I get wanting to still make content. I'm just saying that, like, I wonder what it is.
You might be right. I just don't get the idea of like, I guess. I feel like trying to suckle off of another person's community isn't going to really get you far. I don't know.
Well, I imagine they're all integrated in some capacity, so that's going to be their whole thing. Is that integration? I mean, like, this is the thing, is like because I've obviously been a bigger creator on like TikTok, but I've never been like this big, like they're big. So I don't really know what the fuck they're going through. Not that I'm like super empathetic. I don't really care, because I still think they're being dishonest and stupid. But I wonder what it is.
They're going to be okay. If it bothers them that much, they can quit and live a very.
I just wonder,
great life.
interested. I'm interested in like, what is it like mentally to be these fucking weirdos? Like, what is going on in your life that makes you feel like you need to have certain takes, or talk in a certain way, or be like a certain level of like disingenuous? I don't fully understand it at all, really. It's strange to me.
There probably is an insecurity aspect to it, as well as I think his girlfriend runs a podcast with Hassan.
Oh, that is true though. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. That's Cutie Cinderella, right?
Yeah, but it's like hidden behind a paywall, and she's a giant streamer. I mean, she has enough money to run the streamer awards every year. So it's like, at the same time, like, would running that podcast really hurt you that much? Or maybe they're close. Maybe Ludwig's getting. Nah, I shouldn't make that joke.
Well, I don't. Maybe he's getting cucked. I don't know. I don't think Hassan's ego can handle like just regular disagreements with people. So I could see like that causing the podcast potentially end. So they'd want to keep him on the good side so that it doesn't end. I'm sure they're doing well with it, even behind closed doors. Although I wonder why they have it behind a paywall. You said it's behind a paywall?
Yeah.
What is it on?
Half of it is. Half of it is. Half of it's public, and then half of it's Patreon. It's kind of like the fucking meme that Idubbbz does.
I mean, that's smart.
Well, not anymore.
I mean, it's smart to have like exclusive content. Like Caleb Hammer, they have a lot of exclusive content, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
So I guess that's a smart strategy.
My VODs are like members only. I think like that usually is a good strat to keep memberships going when you have that kind of.
Do something, yeah. Just give them some kind of reward. I mean, I probably could do more for people who subscribe, but I also
try to like do like posts, like give them like pictures from like if me and my buddies go out and film.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I'll sometimes just put stuff on Instagram for that though. Like, I guess I'm just not good at maximizing like members only content.
I know. I mean, I've never been big on like huge on Instagram, other than like like with my private account with like friends and family. So like I need to get better at posting to my actual public Instagram, which just kind of lays dormant.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it also makes sense to like have a clips focus if that's the kind of. I mean, I don't know how like video essays do. But they're a little like they know that they're niche because they're kind of in that drama sphere. But I think like clip type content is great. Is also a great way to get yourself out there. And Instagram is obviously like one of those platforms where clips are pretty beneficial. Like I've had some pretty good luck doing clip work. Has been very like
No,
productive for me.
I've caught your reels just scrolling sometimes on Instagram. I'm like, oh shit, I know that guy.
Yeah, sometimes they'll get a little viral, and sometimes they're just like random commentary on something I watched on TikTok, or sometimes it's just a plug from like an actual video. And like I've had some videos do very well just because of the plugs from them. So I always tell people to like consider it as a potential option, because I know like a lot of like I don't know if you do like shorts or anything like that, but it potentially bring in some views.
Do you have like an editor for it, or is it something you do?
I do now, yeah. I used to just do it by myself, but I have an editor, so she watches what she does. She watches my videos that I do themselves, and then she does like an intro. She'll find clips that I'll give the okay to format, and then I'll do TikTok reacts, and I'll give her the ones that I need her to format and pop out there for me, so that I can, put them up, and then I'll just do 3 a day. But I don't like. I see different people do different things. I see some people that do like video essays. They'll just take their video and they'll cut it down into multiple different videos, and then they will just post them on TikTok, because TikTok you can post like pretty long content on there, like up to an hour. Not that it's productive to do an hour, but and then some people will do like a clip, like moments from it, which can also be really good. Mm-hmm. So it really depends on like your strategy, but it's something to keep in mind, I think. Like
I think I thought about that with the sketches I did for the first content cop, because I mean that was just me and my buddies having fun, and I thought like, oh well, that could go up the short form.
That could be fun. I think for the content that you did for like the content cop, there were like moments where obviously you made good points that also could have been decent. That could have been decent that you could have put up as well. Like I don't think it necessarily just had to be the skits. I think you could have like put plugs in there on the video. Like I have an outro card too, so like I will I'll put my thing up there, and then like at the end of the video I'll just put up the name of the video and the name of my channel, so that people that want to watch more of it are incentivized to go watch more. And sometimes they do, and even if they don't, the clips can make money too, depending. So it works out. But I think that there's some stuff, because I've put like I've put Idubbbz clips, I maybe even from like when I was reacting to your video, that have done well. You'd be surprised.
I did see one of them pop up on my feed. I think it was the Shelbo joke, but you didn't understand it. You thought it was George Floyd or something. You thought I was making a racist joke.
Originally I did. Yeah. I was like, what's that, George Floyd? And then I think I clipped that one. But like some other ones too, like when the whole situation, I don't remember if it was your video or someone else's, but the whole situation where he skipped out, I think it was your video. He skipped out on going to his friend's wedding because his fucking tattoo or whatever. Like that clip did pretty well too. Like there's people fucking hate Idubbbz, so you can make if you do content about him, you can definitely get some good clip and then potentially pull in a new audience, which I think is a very decent idea, because like there's people out there that are I think it's good to have like a diversity in your potential viewership and your audience, because I know a lot of people obviously from like the commentary community are going to be fans of you,
right?
But I think that there's like a whole fucking like litany of people who would be interested in your content on the internet, and that's the one thing people in the commentary community are not doing, is that they are not like advocating for themselves in that way. They're not trying to get people. I have noticed that. They mostly stick to their communities.
I do see a lot of gatekeeping, and I just really don't care. I don't want to be in one group or someone's group, or like, because like I know like there's I guess factions of the commentary community. I just kind of want to do my stuff.
Yeah, that's what makes it nice about just making your content and like plugging it on social media. I mean, the worst case scenario is nobody watches the clip. It doesn't really matter, but like you can really get it generating up and pull something out of it, and you could be potentially very productive.
Yeah, no, I've been thinking about it. Like I've been thinking ahead. I mean, I'm still in college right now. I graduate soon, but I've been really busy with that. So I've been thinking like once I'm moved out of this apartment and once I'm graduated, if I can get an editor to not only like highlight my streams and post it to my second channel, but also do short forms. Like, I've been thinking about that, but
yeah, that makes sense.
also my videos.
I will say like the one, because I used to do my own editing. One of the things that's good about doing your own editing is you can kind of develop your own strategy if you have the time. I mean, you said you're going to college and everything, so like obviously you may not have the time, but that's helped me because then I was able to be like, hey, here's what I want you to do, and then I could train the person to do things exactly how I wanted to. But that's for me personally. But like you said, you have other things going on, so it might not be the most productive to do, things the way that I was doing them.
Yeah, no, my biggest thing with, I guess, coming back to making content, because I was making content for a while, but it was just music, and that like consumed my life. And that was, I the rabbit hole, but yeah, that was the whole thing.
That was interesting. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, that giant regret, but like,
it should happen. You're young. Listen, like that's one of the rough parts about being on the internet at a young age is that it's like harder for people to like move on from it. Like I was young and fucking stupid too,
Yeah, no.
And it manifests differently, but like you're young and you're stupid and you do dumb shit. Like I used to play video games and just say wild shit all the time on video games. If that was still around today, like if that was still around today, like I'd probably be pretty, that'd be an obstacle to overcome. I'll tell you that. But I'm 35, so it's like that's not on the internet.
There will be some. I'm sure one day, some clips of me in high school saying some fucked up shit will resurface. And I mean, I'm not gonna go on some apology tour and be a bitch about it. Yeah, I was a dumb kid. Okay, I'll probably ignore it if it resurfaces or laugh at it.
That's probably all. That's all you really can do. Or even if you do apologize, be like, yeah, that was really shitty. I didn't like that. That was a long time ago. You can do like proportionate apologies, like PewDiePie's apology. that was like, hey, that was my bad, kind of a thing, and move on. You don't want to give it too much energy. You just want to give it the energy it deserves, or else you're going to turn into, somebody who loves complaining, who loves talking about how much progress they've made. You don't need to be that person.
Yeah, no, true. No, I would always tell him shit like, dude, just focus up. You don't need to deal with no one cares. No one actually cares. Like no one who ever liked you really cares. Okay.
Oh, what Idubbbz? Yeah, no, I don't.
No, with the person I used to work for.
Oh, yeah.
I used to tell him no one actually cares, and then he would do it anyways. And I'd be like,
yeah. Well, some of those people might have cared. That guy was fucking weird as shit. But I understand what you're saying fundamentally speaking.
Well, at the time, I
didn't realize. No, I know at the time you were just like, no, nobody cares. It's not a big deal. I know you're young and you're trying to be good, but just don't get yourself in trouble too much by referencing your past, your past individual,
I'm very careful. Like people want me to make a video about it, and I'm just like, no.
I think it really boils down to like you were young and stupid, and you're still young, but like, you're even younger, and it started when you were very young, and so it's it's not is what it is. You know what I mean? It's not ideal, but I think a lot of people that are criticizing you are similar to your age, and I think that people who are a little older understand, like, oh yeah, like I've been stupid, young and done dumb shit before. Not quite like that necessarily, but like I've done dumb, like I've raced cops before in my car. You know what I mean? Like it's not, not, it's stupid.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I try not to. No, I really don't dwell on it anymore. It's because it's like it doesn't matter. And then I've had people reach out to me and like be like, dude, it's whatever, don't pay it any mind. And at first, like I was kind of fumbling, but at this point it's just like and it kind of circles back to what I was like saying is like when I decided that I wanted to, focus on YouTube, I was like, okay, I'm gonna balance this out and make sure I can college helps with that a lot, but also, spend time with my girlfriend and spend time with my buddies. And
it's good to set good boundaries, especially now, because like that's good that you're still going to school. Like it's good that you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. I think a lot of, especially creators, do that, and then they don't really know what to do if it doesn't necessarily work out, or if they don't know how to evolve with the landscape. If they have like a hard period and they just like spiral and turn into Casey Tron,
I don't know if Casey Tron was ever on top, to be honest.
What are you going to school for?
Music production.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, yeah. So you said music was like your life. So yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. It is kind of funny because like when I was growing up, I wanted to be a YouTuber, and then I like realized how passionate I was about music, and then I focused on that for like 10 years, and here I am back being a fucking YouTuber.
There's nothing wrong with that. Is that
Nah.
are you part of like, are you adjacent to the theater or anything like that? Because I know that some music production is.
No, the most I did there was like I did band in middle school, and then or no, I did band in elementary school, and then when I got to middle school, I just wasn't vibing with it, so I kind of like phased out of that for a little bit, and then I wanted to be a YouTuber back then, so I make gaming videos and shit.
That
And
makes
then
sense.
when I got into high school, I got back into music, but it was more so on my own instead of like anything in school.
That makes sense. Well, it's probably better to try to do something in some kind of music than. Well, I mean, you're doing well at the YouTube, but some people.
No, I love doing YouTube. Yeah, and I do plan to get a part time like when I graduate. I'm not.
It's really not a bad idea to diversify yourself like that, honestly.
Because I mean, the YouTube money will be fine. It's just like I wanna back up, and then once I feel comfortable enough to really like, okay, if this fucks me over for a few months, then I can live. Then I'll maybe venture into doing YouTube full time, but I want to be very careful.
Yeah, it just makes sense to have like a backup. Like I know for whatever I would do, my backup is just kind of going back to a normal job. So
Yeah.
That's
Plus I only got like 60K, but I mean, long form videos have done me very well. And I think one of the reasons like the videos are doing really well is that a lot of people in this space are unwilling to do multiple things. Like some people will just focus on streaming or do videos, and they won't try other things like you said, shorts, and they won't go into full edited documentary type videos, or they won't have fun and do like sketch comedy like I try to do. And
it's good
I feel
to
like
take risks, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of paths are easy, and I'm not knocking people who do it, and because I mean I've like done my own streams, and I'm like, holy shit, I just like I made a ton of money. Like if I did this every day, I'd be chilling.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that streamer money can be a little inconsistent, you know.
Oh yeah,
especially
yeah,
in like the more
drama.
Yeah, especially in like the drama space. Like you're talking about a certain thing, and people are all over it, and then like if there's less to talk about, people aren't necessarily all over it.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful with that.
Well, and I just I personally don't have enough time as it stands to stream every day. I just stream whenever I feel like it. And I also I feel like when I stream from I want to like diversify it a little bit, where like on Twitch I'll stream just gameplay and just me having fun. And then on YouTube I'll keep the drama stuff there.
Yeah, that makes sense since like your channel is like does some like of the drama stuff, so it makes sense to keep it to that. You know, for me, I just sometimes play games and don't really give a fuck and just like hang out. I like to be like I didn't really I had something to do today, but it wasn't fun or interesting, so I just stopped. But I like to just try to stay present sometimes, even if it's not with a whole lot of people, just to be there, especially for like the fans, but people who like to just like hang out and just like listen in the background. You know, even if it's only a tenth of the audience, it's still like it's not like a bad thing to.
No, but that grows an audience.
Yeah, no, it's not bad for them because like we're all just chilling, you know.
Yeah, because it keeps people engaged for you rather than whatever you're talking about. That's something I've been trying to do. Like I've introduced like smaller topics. Well, the pirate software was going to be a smaller topic, then it fucking blew up as I was making the video.
It's still not a bad idea to. Are you going to post a pirate software video?
I did. It was a small video. It wasn't a big video essay. It was just more me chatting and talking about the games that I like. I tried to make it different by talking about the games I grew up on, and then like kind of get people nostalgic for physical games and shit, and then talk about the idea of you being able to maybe get a digital game key card, and then the company bricks it, and then that's kind of that's a part of what Stop Killing Games wants to tackle. This is. And then like introduce the idea, and then kind of go in on pirate software a little bit.
Yeah, he's been taking a lot of hits lately. I know that he even like a month ago there was somebody who came forward and said that he groomed them, which he didn't. It was stupid, but it was just it was all weird. Furry shit. It was so strange.
I believe the furry shit is probably real. Unfortunately, I saw.
Well, I think that is
one
real
of my
too.
mutuals.
But it's all
one of my mutuals posted about it. I was like, oh shit.
Listen, it was all normal. It was all it was all okay. It was all consensual. That's not normal. The word I'm looking for is consensual.
Consensual. I mean, it's okay to have abnormal interests, but like.
Well, listen, you do you. It was just strange when like I'm looking at it and I do feel bad because this stuff got leaked and the person was an adult, like so I don't care. But like I'm looking at it and that somebody posted like the chat logs of it on Twitter, and so like one of the first things you see is like a sticker of like a lion sucking a fucking like a dog penis, and I'm just like, oh fuck, I had like instantly end the stream. It was just like, oh Jesus Christ.
You delete the VOD now.
Yeah, I did. I had to. I was like, oh fuck, I just got right off. You know, it's just like, god damn it. You know, sometimes you just get unlucky.
Yeah. No, that happened to me once. Like when I was way smaller, I had like 10K and I was streaming my memes channel on Discord, and someone like had like a fucking dildo in the meme, and it looked like a real penis. I was like, oh shit, and it was like in the background the whole time.
Well, I've had that before where like I've had people, like I had somebody, they kept doing it. They just kept sending like inappropriate shit, like dildos and stuff, and they're like, oh, it's on TikTok. So I was like, okay, but I had like I banned them like twice from the Discord. Like, dude, come on. And then someone in the chat right now, they sent me a meme or a Twitter post, and somebody responded to it with the N-word with a hard R. It's like, come on, you guys.
Oh, nice.
You're killing me. I know I'm not saying it, but I don't see. The thing is, I don't know if I would get taken off of YouTube for that, but I feel like I could. So it's like, let's stay away from it. You know, I also
you could get age restricted, and like there's like this like secret blacklist that they'll put you on where your ad rate will be much lower. But
yeah, I don't need to mess with that just on the off chance, you know.
Yeah, no, and I've been like some of my vernacular is kind of, I guess, dated, some would say. So I've been trying to like censor that and just take it back a little bit, because I personally
bad words. You mean the R
slur?
Like
the R word. Yeah, like I think. I personally don't find it offensive. I mean, I'm also not like autistic or anything. Like I'm ADHD, if that even counts. But
I honestly don't even think that most autism counts. I mean, Frank, to be honest with you, like there are people, like everybody's fucking like you know,
yeah, everyone's autistic now. Yeah,
like not even to shit on it, but like even Bo Black's autism doesn't count to be able to use the R slur. Or you could use whatever you want. I mean, it's just like the people that are like truly affected by that word are people that are in like group home settings that are they don't even have like basic freedoms because they could get you know, it's like those are the people who get really upset about it. And that's why I try not to use it, to be respectful. I don't find it offensive either, but I try not to use it. And then even if you look at it from like I don't even look at it from a moral perspective, it comes off as very immature. So like, you know, I don't think that you're going to gain a really strong audience from using the R slur, but I do think that using it could push away some people that might be interested in your commentary, because I think that your commentary is solid and you put like a good amount of work into your stuff. So it's like, you know, it's
I don't want to taint the joke or taint the message, and I don't want to seclude a certain part of that's kind of been my philosophy. Like I personally don't care, and I probably will in a future video, like it'll slip out and I'll miss it in editing. But like I have been making kind of a conscious effort, but at the same time I'm also very like well, I like to say what I want. I like my freedom of speech. I like using
I get that.
my rights.
Listen, sometimes somebody says something really stupid, and I want to say the word, and I'm just like, you know, I shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like it's just because you know, it's use an intense word. You know, makes you feel good sometimes. I get it.
I try to like keep it directed towards myself.
Yeah.
Right? Like I like to say, oh, I'm just a big fucking, you know, like. But I think the best way I could put it to my audience, who actually for some reason heavily cares that I should still use that word.
Yeah, I guess they like
someone
the
said
word
it was. Someone said it was highly offensive to call Idubbbz the R word, and I was like, you know what, that is.
It might be. Fair. I mean, he has.
That's fair. To compare mentally disabled people to Idubbbz is pretty offensive to those mentally disabled people.
Well, he also probably has like a fucking CTE. He probably has like some kind of. Like I wouldn't doubt that he actually has like like a thing.
I
don't know. He might.
I was thinking about it. He might have some mild autism.
He might. I think he would have a TBI. Honestly, at this point, like some kind of fucking brain injury from boxing. I wouldn't doubt that. Like he could take an evaluation and maybe, maybe he needs a little bit of help.
Yeah. There is something definitely like kind of saddening to see about that situation. Like there isn't much like there isn't much good feelings left for Idubbbz, at least in my book. But
no,
there's a part of me that's like, you kind of got to feel bad because in his heart, like he knows what he's doing, and he has to not understand, because if he understands, then all of the stuff that he's risked his career over is gone.
Yeah, I think I don't even think he had a strong opinion or want or desire to even make his video in the first place. I really do think it was more Anissa. I hate to say it because it's like one of those things where it's like,
I don't want to,
the evil woman in the background. It puts so much on women, but like at the same time, I don't know
if you noticed that, but I strayed heavily away from that narrative in my content cup. I barely mentioned Anissa, and that was very much so on purpose. Like,
it makes sense. Some people will write it off as like, oh, you're just being sexist, but it's an unfortunate thing because, like, for real, I mean, I think he's 30 now. Ethan's 30. I'm 30. And I know for me that, like, my wife has had like a positive impact and she had value to me. And I as shitty as it might sound, I look at like Anissa and them, and like she's added no value to his life. It's all negative. And so that's just so unfortunate.
I heard this analogy that like a sign of a healthier relationship is disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
But that means like if you agree on everything and it's just quiet, then there's nothing to learn from one another, and there's nothing to improve yourself or your partner on. And I'm just kind of like, I resonate with that heavily because I'm like, that's true.
I'm sure that they're lacking that disagreement because it seems like they kind of just go along with whatever she wants. But I also think that they're cosplaying like a good, healthy relationship because
it's extremely unhealthy.
I think at this point, I think a lot of people like I would say the healthiest relationships are going to be guys who are probably a little more loving than the typical guy, and girls who are a little bit more they set better boundaries than the typical woman. So basically, a guy who's a little bit more feminine in some instances, and a girl who's a little more masculine. And I think that they cosplay that.
Yeah,
I think that's their whole thing.
I've definitely seen a lot of instances where like people in relationships won't set boundaries, and then their boundaries broken, and then they have an uncomfortable moment, and then the next thing you know, like it becomes like the end of the world for both people in the relationship.
Oh yeah. Well, it's unfortunate too, because like for the person that doesn't set the boundary, they're usually the one that gets steamrolled. Yeah. And like Ednice is like the steamroller. I really do think Idubbbz is the main concern.
He has no boundaries.
He doesn't set anything. He's a weak person, and he just kind of doesn't set any boundaries or anything with his wife that he should be. And then, like, she makes the decisions, and so it's like a bad decision because it's one person making it instead of two people. And then it comes out the other side, and it's just fucking. I mean, they're a mess. But people give Anissa more shit, but I think it's really Idubbbz is the main issue because he doesn't. Like,
of course,
doesn't do anything.
Because for years he had all these strong convictions that just disappeared. Like, it doesn't make any sense unless. Well, it makes sense if you just give up the fucking idea that it's possible that this is a really bad relationship, and it doesn't have to do with the fact she did OnlyFans.
Yeah, I don't think OnlyFans has anything to do with it. I do think that that's probably a mental distress, like a mental stressor for her. I mean,
I think it could have hurt her image.
Well, not even just that. I think, I think it just hurts her, like, your mental health. I mean, if you look at Anissa from however many years ago before she started OnlyFans, she was a more feminine presenting person. Exactly. And now you look at her, she's very masculine presenting, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with presenting masculinely, but I don't think it's organic. I think it's like, so much big bullying, but also it's being sexualized in the internet because of yourself in this instance, that you have a lot of distress associated with that sexualization, and now you don't necessarily want to express yourself as a woman because she talked about that in the past.
Yeah, she's talked about it in the past, and it kind of directly correlates with if you look at the timeline, it's kind of a direct, I don't want to say regression, because then I'm not trying to say that. Yeah.
Well, it's unfortunate that was like the narrative though back then when she probably started it. It was like, girls, you should do OnlyFans. Like, it's actually good. because that seems to have been like some of the public narrative was a heavy push of like, hey, you should do this. It's really good. You can make money, and some of those people were making a lot of money to their credit, but
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it was healthy money, you know?
Yeah, I empathize with it in the sense. Oh, empathy buzzword.
Yeah,
but
you're learning empathy right now, so good for you.
I guess so. We are 11 years early. I just turned 21 a couple days ago, by the way.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're not supposed to learn empathy.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to have learned empathy yet. Then holy shit! Congratulations, though.
Over the next 11 years, I'll get a quarter bar.
Yeah, just a little bit.
A little bit at a time.
Empathy, except for your closest friends. You won't learn empathy for those people, but you learn empathy for I don't even know what empathy has this guy learned.
It's just that is such a weird thing. So like I don't know if he's retconned it to himself that he just never had empathy, or if Anissa convinced him that, or like, because that is just obviously it's ridiculous. Everyone knows it's ridiculous. That's why everyone laughs at it. I just don't understand.
I think he probably got more sensitive, but
yeah,
I wonder if the sensitivity. I mean, to who? I don't really think Anissa's a sensitive person. Although maybe they were both very sensitive. Maybe she was nicer before the internet like bullied the shit out of her. I wonder for the OnlyFans stuff, which I think part of
even
it
before
is
that
bad.
she was a titty streamer and she would be like the punching bag.
Well, I mean, at that point, yeah. Well, I saw the Turkey Tom video. It was pretty solid. It was like she did a titty streaming, and then she decided to say that feminism is like bad and cringe for a little bit, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, you're just all over the place,
right? Now, and her having her parents involved with moderation.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I saw that video.
Really, Rob's Media had a really good deep dive on Anissa.
I didn't know that like the mom was kind of like what started the Froggy Fresh thing.
Yeah,
what a bitch, you know. What are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, I got a lot of shit for calling Anissa a bitch in my video.
Oh,
like, and it was a joke.
Yeah, it's probably a harsh joke to make. I wasn't kidding when I said her mom was a bitch, so I was. It's not a joke.
I mean, I'm not kidding now. I think Anissa is a bitch.
I honestly, you know, I feel she is not a nice person, but I really do think Idubbbz is like the main problem. Like, he is a weak man that doesn't set any boundaries, and he leaves his wife to make all the decisions, and I think that puts her in a really tough spot, especially on the internet, which he was always a bigger content creator than her. He's always understood the landscape better than her. She was a small-time titty streamer. And I think that he kind of threw her to the wolves a little bit. And, you know, I think it's mostly, I feel bad for her. You know, I do. Yeah. I think that she could be better. She could be, you know, if she found like a better guy, she could probably be like much better off, you know, somebody who gives her a little bit of pushback, and she could probably be very healthy and like very positive and productive.
I'd feel bad for her if she was at least 10% Arab.
Yeah, but she's only 8%, so she's in the clear. You know, maybe Nicholas Diorio could be a good fit for Anissa.
Have you made the two make out yet?
No, I stopped doing that because it felt a little awkward. You know, I was like, maybe I shouldn't be constantly making people.
He gets on stream and starts crying about it. It says, "This is what pain feels like."
Yeah, I don't want to fuck it up too much. Although I think I know who likes Idubbbz. I think I have a theory. There's this person, Jaileray, who made like a whole video like talking about how amazing the event is and how Idubbbz is a great person and grew up. I think that those two would work really well together. And then maybe Anissa and I don't know. I'm trying to think who would you match with Anissa.
Chris Raygun.
I don't know anything about him. So
the boxing trainer that
I think he's
was flirting with.
Oh, is that who it was? Was it a boxing trainer?
No, it was a.
It's like another YouTuber,
partner.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe Sam Hyde would be good for her. You know.
I think that would end horribly.
I don't know. Maybe that would be good, you know. Although
there would be abuse allegations the next day.
I mean, she probably would abuse her. Let's be real. Okay, I don't even know.
Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't think he likes her.
I don't think so either. Well, she looks a little bit like that girl she hired.
Yeah.
Or he hired. She looks a little bit like the girl he hired to be.
She does.
Yeah. So maybe they would work. It's actually kind of shit. It's actually kind of sad now that I think about it. She does. I don't know. I get on. I just feel bad for them. They're fucking. There's something going on. Well, I don't feel that bad for them.
Someone said, "I love hearing two grown men discussing shipping mean people together."
Listen. That's what when it comes down to like this
content.
Well, when it comes down to this, like the commentary content in this, it's all very petty, bitchy stuff. Like people like me, Nicholas Diorio, and even like you with these topics, like we're fucking mean girls. Like that's Ethan Klein mean girls. Like it's not, we're not talking about makeup and stuff, but this is mean girl shit. It's very petty, and I like it. I like being petty.
Yeah, no, it's. I'm being a shitter. I'm a grifter in my own right, and I think it's funny, and I'm having fun doing it. It's not that deep.
I wouldn't call you a grifter. I don't think you have any dishonest opinions, but it's more of
I'm a Cameron grifter. I grift myself.
Okay.
It's a side hustle. I don't even consider myself a grifter, honestly, but.
No, we're memeing. We're catty bitches, you know?
/S.
/J.
Or is that,
I think you're supposed to. I think that's like serious. /S is serious.
Ah, fuck. I need to ask ChatGPT what the tone indicator is.
Yeah, Grok, what am I supposed to say right now? Have Grok come for you.
Grok, give me a take.
Give me a take. What take should I have right now?
My favorite part of making the content cop was getting called every political ideology that I don't have.
What
I was called like a fake liberal and like or a Destiny bro, and then I was called like an alt-right Nazi, and then I was compared to Tucker Carlson.
That's crazy. Tucker's wild. People call me alt-right sometimes too. It's very strange because I make memes, but I'm definitely not alt-right. I'm not even close. I'm actually pretty left-leaning. So it's funny when people say that.
I don't really care about politics when it comes to my content. I feel like that's also one of the things that like it doesn't bother me. Like if I hear like most political takes, at least I hear from you, are pretty measured. I don't find myself going, God damn it, I'm fucking.
Yeah, no, I'd say that I have. My takes are somewhat normal, and they're a little more, libby. But I'm also not trying to be fucking based and edgy and cool, and apparently threatening people with a gun on stream or whatever the fuck Hassan's doing right now.
Yeah, no, he's become a caricature of like he's kind of like the person that Trump describes when Trump talks about the radical left.
Well, that was a pretty good impression, but I think also I also think that Hassan has a fucking vested interest in just like toppling whatever's going on over here. Like, I think that part of his whole thing, because he was talking about Ben was like, oh, everybody should vote for Trump just so that we can escalate the fucking downfall of Western society. Which might be the tactic in general.
I don't know. I mean, he did buckle on that point when he said he voted for Kamala Harris, but he never shilled for her. I remember that specifically.
He should have pushed her for her heavily. We would have been in a much better position right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever endorse. I don't plan to endorse candidates. I don't really care to. I just my goal is to entertain. But it is really interesting. I like to point out the hypocrisies, even if it comes out to be a political hypocrisy. I think for some reason, I mean, it's the same thing with mainstream media. They're all hypocrites. It's all to ultimately, it's to fill their pockets. At the end of the day, and it is a grift. It's a grift. That's what it is.
Some of it is, yeah. I think a lot. I mean, not that you want to get super deep into the conversation, but a lot of it is that post 9/11, 24-hour news cycles became so popular. And what you do, and people wanted to capture the 9/11 energy. Like, it was a horrible tragedy. Every day you say oh, update on horrible tragedy, and people would tune in. Once horrible tragedy kind of goes away to an extent, or becomes time goes on, all of a sudden you need your new horrible strategy, or horrible tragedy, and so you constantly try to sensationalize, and all of a sudden you're overly sensationalizing everything. Everybody's getting burnt out. They're getting more and more dismissive of what they're hearing.
Right. I mean, who's the biggest genocide profiteer in this Ethan Hassan debate? I would say it'd be Hassan.
Yeah, I think he benefits from it. Again, people get upset when I say this, but I remember watching before Ethan picked up with him. his views were going down, and they were still good, but he was going down to like the 10 to 20,000 range, so like live stream viewers. And then he like would work with Ethan, and it went up like a little bit, but then Israel Palestine happened, and he blew up, and he's been riding that wave ever since. And so I think he does have a vested interest in continuing, in whatever way, the oppression of Palestinian people. And I think that that's why he never pushed for Kamala Harris, because I think that something normal might have happened, or at least more normal might have happened.
Right.
And it would have been more normal in America. Things would have been like more steady in America, because we would have had somebody. And like, I know you don't want to get super into politics, you know, it's not really about right or left, but like Trump's fucking a little crazy. I don't think he wanted that. I think he wanted Trump in there because he wanted the abnormality, because it was good for his career.
I mean, I like how Asmon's just kind of open with it. He's just like, yeah, I want the content president.
Yeah, I think that that's part of that, is to just like kind of say stuff like that to make meme on it. So if he says something wrong and dumb, he's just like, oh, I'm just doing it for the content. You know, I don't think that's and if it is honest, I don't think that that's a good tactic. That just makes him a shitty person. You know, but I guess all you can really do is laugh at some of the crazy shit's going on. So maybe he's got the right strategy. Yeah,
you never know. I mean, I personally I really do my best not to judge people based on their politics. And my main gripe with Hassan isn't his politics, even if I think some of his takes are abysmal. And I do.
What take do you think is abysmal? Give me your most base political take right now.
Well, the safest take, I mean, I feel like this isn't even political, though. It just goes down to humanity. I feel like the idea of innocent Israelis or innocent Palestinians getting killed is awful. And I feel like he openly supports what he likes to call resistance, but they're terrorists. A lot of them are terrorists that kill innocent Israelis, that take hostage over people who aren't even involved with the conflict for a long period of time, who are lawless. And he openly endorses that. He thought he had one on stream. I don't know if he actually is or not. But I mean, he was outposted with
the kid. Yeah, well, Hassan thought he was a terrorist, so he wanted somebody who he thought was a terrorist on the stream because he thought it would be based.
No, he wanted a Houthi on. That was his goal.
I think it was.
And I think that's gross, and that's how political takeoff is. That I think is gross. I'm also a capitalist. So.
Oh shit, dude, you're dirty. I personally I mean, I'm not comfortable with him, being charitable to terrorist organizations. But what I will say is, I think that if he was consistent across the board, I wouldn't have had so much of an issue. But he's not. So it's like, if he's,
I'd have a little respect for him.
Yeah, but he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't care about. I know he constantly downplays like the different camps for Muslims in China. He downplays. He also
doesn't care about the LGBT community at all.
Well, no, he doesn't. But he also doesn't care about Ukraine, which you'd think he would want to support. But he doesn't care. He talks about he pushes the the concept that Russia has a claim to some of that land, and the reason that there's so many Russians in that area, though, and this is something Hassan knows now because he got educated on it and he's never walked it back, though, is because Russia genocided Ukrainians through starvation and implanted Russians and said, hey, this is ours now. So Hassan doesn't care, and I think it's because he just hates the West, so he's not even consistent. And so it's not like no terrorist organization he supports is because he likes for any nuanced thing. It's just that he hates America so much, or for whatever reason, that he'll just say
colonialism that he wants to be against, but then he also is fine with Russia. So it's
because he doesn't give a fuck. It's just about hating America.
No, but I wouldn't hate Hassan for his political takes, and I'm sure he's probably behind the scenes when you talk to him about something else. He's probably a personable guy, and in fact, I've seen him on podcasts be somewhat likable. But he's also, I feel morally very askew and a piece of shit. And,
I think all the likableness is just him knowing how to be he's charismatic,
Yeah,
that's all it really is. I don't think there's anything I don't think that there's anything he's just charismatic. He knows what to say. He knows what he's supposed to say to for people to like him in some capacity. I think.
I did beat Hassan, and the look on his face looked like he wanted to strangle me.
You met Hassan? That's funny.
Yeah, I met him at Creator Clash 2 very briefly. Well, I encountered him twice. Because he went in, the fucking dumbass went in the wrong entrance. He went in the public entrance.
Oh, shit.
And I ran into him, and I was like, wait, that's fucking Hassan. Because, I recognized him. I just expected him to be taller, but granted, I'm 6'2" and a half.
Okay? Oh, shit. You don't look 6'2" and a half, man. What the hell?
Why? You think I'm a little manlet?
No, I just didn't think you were 6'2". How tall is Hassan, then?
He was like 6'1", so I
Oh
was
shit.
expecting him to be taller than me. Granted, that's just like from my view. I might be off on that.
Well, okay. Well, yeah, I figured he was tall, but yeah, wow, good for you, man. I'm 6'4", so people don't necessarily know how tall I am.
Shit.
Yep, people don't know it. People don't know it.
Yeah, no, but I met him and he like I was nice. I mean, like I was like we don't agree on hustle or whatever, and he looked like he wanted to fucking strangle me. He was like, okay. So.
Were you the one that talked about Sam Hyde or whatever when you met him?
No. I filmed it. I never did anything with it.
Oh shit! Could have done your little vlog, dude. It would have been fun. You got to do that as members only content. You gotta put that out there. Plug the VOD.
I didn't end up vlogging or I didn't end up doing a full vlog of the event, but because it was just kind of like, oh, I'm watching a boxing match or whatever. So it was just a couple Snapchats to my friends because like we all like watched these people. We thought it was funny.
That's fun.
But
were you making content at that point, or were you just like more of a content fan?
Both. I mean, I had the content brain. I was content brained because I was always thinking about making a return to normal videos, but I was still focused on music at the time. So
that makes sense. Okay.
But yeah, no. Hassan, like when it comes to like these political creators, and I'm kind of trying to stray away from that. Just because I don't want to isolate groups of my audience, because I really just don't. I don't care if some people in my audience voted for Trump. I don't care if some people in my audience voted for Harris. I ultimately just want them to enjoy my videos, and if they get a kick out of it, that's great.
But yeah, I mean, you're not like a political guy. So for me, like I do more. I mean, I do a lot of drama. Let's be fucking real. But I also do. Like, I have political crossover. I actually like started on a lot of politics. So like I'm still interested in them for me. So it means more to me. Yeah, I mean, like my mother fucking voted for Trump, so it's not like I hate Trump supporters. You know, right? I'm just very expressive about my my opinion. So if it does alienate some audience, I don't necessarily care too much.
Right. No, and that's fine. I mean, that's your and because like I mean, I get it too. I mean, I have people in my family with diverse political opinions, and what I learned is basically a lot of people, vote for different reasons. And they might not necessarily like, things that, figures say or the way they act or, the way they treat women or you know who I'm referring to. But, but they voted for like, they felt the economy was going to be better or they felt safer for whatever reason. And then same thing on the other end. But, and I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. Like ultimately with my content, I think Idubbbz has kind of turned into a lolcow. So like that was funny.
Yeah, the next person, how sad, for how sad.
Yeah, I was sad. And then the next person I'm talking about isn't a lolcow necessarily, but like haven't liked them for a long time, and then recently a bunch of shit has sprung up about them.
I'm excited.
So like,
do you have a an ETA on it?
Hopefully within the next couple of weeks.
Oh shit! All right. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Because the boys and I were supposed to film tomorrow, but it's going to be storming all day. So.
Oh, okay. So you're doing like some of the skits, that little bit of that energy.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's gonna be really fun. The I don't want to say too much, but
no,
the editing is what's
don't ruin it.
The editing is what's gonna take the most of the time because I usually can get a script done pretty quickly. The problem with this one is things kept changing, and once you see the title, you'll completely understand why things kept changing.
Okay.
But yeah, so I kept having to make tweaks, and it was also on the back burner while I was working on like smaller things, and taking somewhat of a break from I guess any sort of drama at all. So I was just like I would get a few things in like. I do not like this about what this person does in their video, and then I would expand upon it later on. But
that makes sense. Well, I'm looking forward to whatever it is that you're producing. Don't give away anything, though. Make it a nice surprise. All right, but I gotta bang out. My wife's home, so all right. It was nice chatting with you, though.
Hell yeah!
All right, man. You take care.
You too.
Peace.
Peace.